Hello, what is up? What is up, people? This is MJ, and we are back again. Back with a new life where we are studying media writing. देखो मीडिया कहाँ से शुरू करें यूनिट वन मीनिंग स्कोप नेचर एंड प्रोसेस लेट्स गो लेट्स गो Mass media unit 1 meaning scope nature and process of communication. What you say, how you say it, and why you say it. This is the heart of mass communication. Meaning of communication. Communication is the process through which ideas, information, feeling, meaning are shared between individuals, acha, or groups to achieve mutual understanding. The word communication comes from a Latin word communicare, communis, which means to share or to make common. Acha, yeah, communication. Yeah. So simple definition and general definition that is used everywhere to elaborate what communication means. Now we have nature of communication. What is that? It's a certain inherent characteristic that defines how it works in society and media. Communication is not a one-time act. It is continuous and dynamic, evolving, sending, receiving, interpreting, and responding to messages in mass media. This process continues even after publication through audience feedback, comments, shares, and public opinion. Communication is purposeful. Every act of communication has an intention to inform, persuade, in, entertain, educate, or influence. Communication has an intention to inform, persuade. A news report aims to inform, an editorial aim to persuade, a campaign poster aim to mobilize. Communication is symbolic. Communication uses symbol, words, images, colors, and sound that carry meaning. For example, red color may suggest the danger or urgency. Silence and radio can indicate seriousness. Photography can communicate emotions without words. Communication is contextual, meaning depend on the social context, cultural background, political situation, and media use. The same message may be interpreted differently by different audience. Communication is interactive. Even mass communication, which appears one way, is interactive today through social media reactions, letter to the editor, viewer rating, online debates. Zarur. Now we are studying about scope of communication. First is our personal scope, interpersonal scope, group communication, organizational communication, mass communication. Then we have process and elements of communication. In that we have elements of communication. Cool, I know that. Personal communication, interpersonal, great. ये पहला यूनिट हो गया है. Now where is second unit? Verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication refers to the use of spoken or written words to convey meaning. In media, it includes news reporting, anchoring, interview, articles, and social media communication. Forms of verbal communication. Spoken words. Verbal communication refers to the use of spoken or written words to convey meaning. So, if there is written word, then why we say verbal communication? It in media it include news reporting, anchoring, acha, interview, article, script, and social media captions. Forms of verbal communication: oral, written, formal, informal. What the fuck is formal? Formal and informal. How can a person decide a communication? Oral and written, we can consider it once. But how can we consider formal and informal? It's a form. Oral, written, formal. Informal, oral means spoken words. Written means text based communication. Oral, formal, and informal should come under oral or written communication. That would be more perfect to make an up as they have given a different categories for these two things. Structures, professional, casual language. Keys element of effective verbal communication. Element is clarity, tone, vocabulary, and structure. Clarity is referred to clear, simple expressions. Example: price rose by 5% instead of jargon. Tone, emotional qualities, neutral tone in news. Vocabulary, word choice, victim or survivor. Structure, logic flow, lead, body, conclusion. Food for thought. Can the same word mean different things depending on tone? In mass media, verbal communication is the backbone of storytelling from headline to hashtags. Food for thought. Can the same word mean different things depending on the tone? Yep. In mass media, verbal communication is the backbone of storytelling from headline to hashtags. Non-verbal communication, it is the word communication without words using body language, facial expressions, visual, symbol, and silence. In media, it often speaks louder than words. You may not hear anything, but you still understand everything. Acha. Types of non-verbal communication: facial expressions, body language, eye contact, appearance, visuals, silence. Meaning: emotions on face, posture, gesture, engagement, clothing, grooming, image, graphics, pause or absence. Media example for emotion on face would be is anchor seriousness, posture, gestures is report as confidence, engagement is interviewer authenticity, clothing, grooming is credibility of journalist, image, graphics is photojournalism, pause or absence is dramatic pause in radio. सारे फील्ड कवर कर लिए. News anchor telling a breaking news can have intense face, urgent tone. Political speech that mention about development can have national flag as a backdrop. In mass media, visual often decides how words are interpreted. At the end, we are also studying about what is the purpose of media writing. So, why do we write in mass media? Writing is not just expression, but rather than intentionally communication. Acha, major purposes of writing. It helps to inform the audience, provide fact, example news reports. It helps to educate the masses, explaining context. It persuade audience, influences and influences opinions. It entertains and engage audience. It mobilizes audience by integrating call to action. It helps to create record, document even archival records. Remember, everyone, good writing don't just write well, they write with intent. समझ में आया क्या? So these are the things that I have to remember for today's exam, where I should know that what does communication means. Oh, sorry, there are two types of communication. Mota mota, if they ask this differentiate between verbal and non-verbal, then I have to write verbal refers to the non-verbal verbal refers to the every kind of conversation which is being conveyed through visuals, spoken words, and anything that I could, no, not visuals, but spoken words and all through their mouth, you know. Yeah, I can say that. And then, same as non-verbal communication is the talk between two people without, matlab, not in general way I'm speaking. I'm just giving example where there is a talk going on in between two people and they both are deaf and dumb. So sorry, they are deaf, and yeah, they just can't speak anything and can't listen to, so they'll be having conversation through writing, through through their sign languages and visually. Yeah, so okay, cool, that is non-verbal communication. If they ask what is the purpose of writing, then we can, give them some points that it informs the audience, it educate the mass, it influence the opinion. Oh, influence opinion would be agenda setting. Great. Entertains and engage audience, mobilize audience, and integrate call to action and create a record. Okay, nice. Khatam. Writing as an essential communication skill. Great. ये पढ़ते हैं. Writing as an essential communication skills. Okay. So here we go. Writing is an everyday communication skill. Every email, message, caption, notice, report, or application is a form of writing. Unlike speaking, writing does not allow immediate clarification. Therefore, whatever is written must carry complete meaning by itself. Writing as communication, vocabulary usage of and choosing word carefully, word precision, saying exactly what you mean, evaluating and editing word choices. Okay, writing is the best understood as a communication process, not as decoration, but as a writer has an idea, converts it into words, and sends it to a reader. The reader then interprets those words. Vocabulary usage, choosing word carefully. It refers to the selection of appropriate words according to the context, audience, and purpose. Good writing does not require difficult words, it requires correct words. Word precision, saying exactly what you mean. They both are same, not too much, but yeah, they both are same. Using exact word instead of general or exaggerating. Exaggerating expressions, precision answers questions like how much, how many, in what way, to what extent. Evaluating editing word choice. Good writing is rarely written one attempt. It is edited. Reading is the purpose of evaluating whether each word is doing useful work or or not. हो गया. Invert pyramid and lead writing. Lead writing. This is the topmost thing that I have to learn and see. Okay, inverted pyramid. It is a classic news writing structure where the most important information appears at the top, detail follows in descending order of importance, and least critical background come last. The structures emerged in telegraph era journalism when reporters had to send the most crucial facts first in case of transmission was cut. why the inverted pyramid became dominant. Editor act as gatekeepers, deciding what gets spaces, what get cut. Inverted pyramid allows easily trimming from the bottom without harming meaning. Research in mass communication suggests readers scheme and attention drop rapidly. Front leading fact ensures message delivery even if the reader stops midway. Strengthens of the inverted pyramid. Clarity and speed, editor friends and structures, objectivity and oriented, works fell for crisis reporting such a disaster, court verdicts, election result and government notifications. Okay, now what is strength? We'll read it again. Readers get answers to 5W and 1H immediately, ideal for breaking news and hard news. Okay. Editor friendly structure. Editor can shorten stories without rewriting, crucial in print media where space is fixed. Focuses on fact over narration, overt opinion and emotion categories. Work well of crisis reporting such as disaster, code word, elections result. Okay, strength तो पढ़ लिए. अब weakness की बारी. Kill narrative flow. No suspense, no emotion build up. Emotionally build up, and everything is given away at the start. Not right fit for human interest, stories, features, and long form of journalism. Encourages formulaic writing. Writers begin to write mechanically, predictably, and without voice or depth. Can lead to copy paste of journalism tendencies. Complex complex issues that oversimplified. Topic like farmer society, climate change, and policy reform cannot be meaningfully explained into just the top. हाँ हाँ सही बात है. Marginalized context. Background often appears too late, even though it may essential for understanding. कितना late? What is this? For instance, let's see what are YouTube guidelines. As a YouTube creator, you are part of a community working together to protect the community to keep YouTube a positive place for creating, sharing, and watching. Everyone has part to play in making YouTube what it is. Why policies and guidelines exist? Our policy guidelines are designed to keep a community of creator viewers and advertiser protect and to encourage creators to take responsibility for their matter in this effort. They set out what is and is not allowed on YouTube and apply to all content across platforms. What policies do you need to know when you're creating content? YouTube policies. First is community guidelines. Community guidelines help to make YouTube a welcoming community for viewer, creator, and advertiser. Content that evaluate these guidelines is not eligible monetization and will be removed on YouTube. Copyright. This form intellectual product property law that protect original work for creating expression. Creators should only upload videos that they have made or they have permission to use. That means that no one should upload videos that they didn't make and use content in the video that same else owns the copyright to. Jazz music tracks, snippets of copyrighted program and videos made on other creator without permission. Tools fair use with this copyright strike. Children on YouTube. Protecting children with privacy is a number one priority of us at YouTube. And we have numbers of policies, products, and practices in place to help us, our creators, to do this. Made for kids. Made for kids. Cool, 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 cool.
Like the lady had no social media, no website. She psychology कहते हैं कि ऐसे a piece we have up here is this one again. Like the lady had no social media, no website. She just goes from exhibitions, trunk shows, selling her jewelry, and you get to be on a WhatsApp group with her, and she lets you know where she's going next. That's how it usually works with a lot of these sellers at these exhibitions. She loved antique jewelry, so she had always been collecting them, but she wanted to give them a new life. So this is an antique husky over here. It's pretty heavy. And this part is actually on cloth, which is all handmade by her. The stonework and everything. She finds antique stuff to place on these huffies to give them like a new life. It's still an antique, but I think this is a great way of modernizing it or bringing it back in a way that pleases her. Husky is great, of course, like it's a beautiful piece. But what really drew me in is this part. So if you can see, these are all antique charms as well. And they're on both sides of it. And for me, the attention to detail on this piece was just insane. I could not pass it up. I also could not pass up telling the lady that she needed a social media page. So this is the second piece that I bought from the exhibition from a different brand. Again, another small brand. No website, no social media. Everything just on WhatsApp, but beautiful pieces. This is not the only piece I picked up. I picked up another one. Let me show you. Earrings are the next piece that I picked up from the same brand, and I think it was just beautiful how they looked in my ear. Like me being the maximalist that I am, I will definitely be wearing them every day. These are from another small brand that was at the exhibition. I'm gonna tag them below. They have a social media, but they also have some of the best jewelry ever. I've started seeking out what exhibitions they're going to be at next so I can buy more from them. This is not the only piece that I have from them, but this is my most recent piece. I have another really cute piece from them. Let me show you. Little bird ring, but it's minuscule. The ring is tiny, but look at the attention to detail. Gigantic ring.
Hmm.
I fell in love. I definitely would recommend you go check out some of these exhibitions that are happening in your city, especially if you live in a big metropolitan city. They're happening almost every weekend, and I'm sure that you will find some great pieces. And if you do check them out, do let me know what your experience was like. इस वीकेंड जब सब साइकोलॉजी कहते हैं कि ऐसे लोग जो अपना घर छोड़ने के बाद अपने पेरेंट्स हाय गाइस ग्राफिक जोमेटो प्रेडिक्ट सालू तुम गए
Indie Urban 2000 vibe. What is that? Let me see. Hmm. I don't need any copyright today. Coming in just 2 minutes. Girls and boys.